I think our guys have had a really good week of practice for 3 days. There's been a lot of energy. You see guys practicing with a purpose. I think we've improved in 3 days, which we need to. There's really but one place to go for us right now, and that's up, and that's good. But if we'll practice like that every single day, we're going to continue to improve. And I appreciate our guys' effort and intensity that we've had, and looking forward to this weekend.
David, just on Siobhan out there, do you think they can get him back this week, Roberts?
No, he's not. He's not ready yet. It'll probably be a couple more weeks before he's out there, but it's good for him to get around. He's itching to do it, so it's glad to see him out there.
Yes. Jeremy, take us through how the move of Jeremy Banks to linebacker, and what sort of instincts or physical traits does he have that you think will make him successful in that position?
Well, I think he's a runner and a hitter, and he's physical. He likes ball. Obviously, he's practiced for 3 days on defense, so it's not probably probably don't have a whole lot of knowledge of what we're trying to get done, but I think he's a guy that can play there. He's not had any carries in the last couple of games. Not that he, couldn't be a running back and a good running back, and he still might go back there, but I think it's been good for him. It's been good for him. The first day, he thought he was about to die out there because he took a bunch of reps. I told him it's a little different over there than sitting there swapping out. There's only one ball, so you got 4 running backs, and they sit there and kind of rotate through, but he got him a bunch of reps the last few days.
Steve?
I'm just wondering, you kind of touched on the slow starts a little bit Monday, but I'm just wondering if y'all looked into whether changing pregame routine, anything regarding your itinerary, just to try to combat these slow starts y'all had in the first quarter? Or?
No, I mean, we do. I bet you we did the same pregame routine as the last team we played, that they hadn't had a problem. It's not the routine, I can assure you.
Yeah, Jeremy, just curious about your relationship with Brian McClendon. How would you rate your familiarity with him compared to the familiarity you have with some of the last few SEC teams you played and what he does?
Yeah, B-Mac's he's a phenomenal recruiter, a really good coach, very detailed. He's got an opportunity to be offensive coordinator, and he's done a really good job. They're very balanced. They're multiple in their formations. They can beat you a bunch of different ways. And he's a great guy to work with. Good family, and does an outstanding job.
Ryan Coons and Ryan Johnson out there today. Is he like class deal, or was he close to that?
Ryan Johnson? He was out there.
Coach, your ability to generate big plays in the passing game, is that a surprise? Did you see that in the preseason, or have you developed that as the season has gone on?
I think we've got some guys that can compete for the ball. Our quarterbacks, when they have time, they can put the ball on them. So I think our offensive coaches have done a really good job finding ways to get some of these guys the ball. We've got to be more consistent. Lots of times creating explosive plays is the hard thing to do. We've been able to do that some. We've got to continue to do that. We need to create more, but we've got to have more consistency. We've just had way too many negative plays.
Jeremy, how are some of those other outside linebackers, kind of beyond Darrell and DeAndre, how they come along as they go down?
I think we've got a lot of guys that, obviously are new to the system. The more they're around it, obviously the more knowledge they get, they gain confidence. So, if you don't know exactly what to do, sometimes you don't play fast. But I think the longer we go, I see guys that are improving every day.
Other questions for Coach?
You mentioned the move to Jeremy Banks to linebacker. Was that something that he really asked you to do? Was that something you all approached him first and asked about switching?
No, it's kind of funny. He asked me to move to linebacker in the fourth quarter of the Georgia game. So I just told him I didn't think now was the time to talk about it, but you know, I mean, he's just looking for an opportunity to play, and I think he's a guy that has a skill set that could do it.
You said that you liked the sort of the aggressiveness from the guys today, or the way they went about their business. Were you concerned at all this week about how they would react to that game, how they would go out there and practice after taking a kind of a game like that one?
You know, we actually had really good practice last week too, and our guys have really for the last several weeks since the bye week. You know, there's very few days that we don't improve as a team. You know, we've got to put it all together. I see it every day. You know, we had a few injuries along the way, and we've had some guys that you know have played for the first time, and so we've kind of we got to come together a little bit offensively where we don't have negative plays defensively. Obviously, we can't give up explosive plays, but you know, there's lots of guys that last week played really good. But unfortunately, it takes all 11. And if you give up negative plays on offense or you give up explosive plays on defense, you know, and the way the score gets, you know, a lot of people don't realize how well some guys actually play.
Ryan, Coach Carlin told me back or running back, I guess, is that, you know, what went into that just kind of corresponding move to that?
Well, I think if we're going to move Jeremy to linebacker, we need to have a fourth running back. And Carlin is a guy that's played snaps here before. He's a fast guy. He's got good change of direction. So just trying to manage the roster and create possibilities for everybody.
Is he up to speed on the offense since they really worked there much at all this spring, or is he kind of catching up on that side?
No, I would say he's like Jeremy. You know, I mean, it's tough to transition during the middle of the year. It's something that you'd probably want to do. Maybe during an off week, or you really would never want to do it, you know, but both guys are, you know, they got a lot of football ahead of them. You know, Carlin's worked really hard at being a defensive back, and I think that he feels more naturally playing running back. So just like with him and Jeremy, I would never move a guy unless that's what they wanted to do. You know, after a couple of years, you know, hey, if it wasn't working out for them and we said, hey, maybe we think you might be better, but it's not going to do us any good as a program if we move guys to positions they don't want to play. So both of those moves were really instigated by the players.
Coach Brandon Kennedy's been back out there the last couple of weeks to ride the bike today. Just talk about his progress, and it seems like, you know, between he and Riley Locklear, some of those surgeries that you guys have had, the doctors have done a good job of getting them back. Talk about the job they've done to get your guys back as quick as possible.
You know, I saw Brandon today, and he kind of was bouncing down the hall, so I asked him if he was ready to play, and I went there and sat down in my office, and I'm looking at the calendar just trying to see, and I think he's maybe 7 or 8 weeks out of surgery. So, and then Riley's back, you know, really fast. So, you know, that's good. That's, you know, it's hard to, these guys come here to get a degree and to play ball. And unfortunately, because it's a physical game, sometimes there's injuries along the way. So you want to have a medical staff that can get them out there as fast as possible, as long as they're fine. And I think our guys do a fantastic job, and I think it's showing.
Grant, you mentioned since the bye week there haven't been days where you guys haven't gotten better. What goes into that? Is that just guys learning what's demanded in season, or is it something else that you're doing?
I think we're kind of creating the right habits. I think we got guys that really want to be good football players, and they're starting to demand it from their teammates. And, you know, kind of, if you got positive energy, it can be contagious, and if you got negative energy, it can be contagious. And, you know, I think our guys are liking to come to work, you know, so they're working hard out there to improve, and we are improving. So we got to play better on Saturdays. We got to be more efficient and stay away from, like I said, negative plays and explosive plays on defense.
Last question, Catherine. Jeremy Dom a little bit last couple of days. Kind of how's he progressing, and I guess what's his status or what's his chances of being ready for Saturday?
Well, when you have a pulled hamstring, you know, it's kind of day to day. Sometimes it depends on the severity of the injury, and some guys heal faster than others. So he's practiced this week every day. So he'll be a guy that'll be questionable, and we'll have to make a game time decision.